Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Harry Knuckles podcast with me, your host, Chad. And of course, I am not by myself. I am joined by my co host, Hunter. Say what up, man.
What's going on?
And we are going to be talking about a bunch of stuff. I honestly don't know where to start, but I'll just throw some phrases out there and just give you an idea of what we'll be going over. Seahawks, is they good or no? The Jets are a really hilarious thing. Are the Cowboys magically awful now? And is Pittsburgh amazing all of a sudden? Those are just some interesting things to bring up now. Um, but then we're also going to be doing our picks for Week 9 and talking about just noteworthy stuff in the NFL. Also, little treat, we're going to mention the NBA season because that started yesterday. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think this is episode 7?
I'm not 100%
No,
sure.
it can't be 7.
I think
I think it's
my
6.
mind says five.
5.
But I'm not gonna bet on that.
I'm going to go 5 or 6. I think the under on that, I think 6 is the favorite by about 5 points.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with 6.
See, and I'm still laughing about when you said the Jets. I mean, you said Jets, and I just started cracking up,
We
man.
can start there now. I mean, we can start right there.
That's fine.
The Jets, honestly, I didn't even write anything down for this. I have this stat line ingrained in my mind right now because I saw it on TV and it just struck me. I was like, "Whoa, is there a typo on the screen?" Did you see Geno Smith's stats for the amount of time that he played?
He had 3 interceptions in 1 quarter.
Indeed, but I just want to just bring to the surface the totality
And
of his.
before you start, this is episode 5. I looked
Dang
it up.
it!
I looked it up.
Ugh,
But
man.
okay, so you can go on about the Jets now. You're
Okay,
fine.
that kind of ruined my mood. Now I'm wrong. All right,
I'm sorry.
anyway.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh man, I saw this on the TV screen, and it said, and I kid you not, it said Geno Smith was 2 for 8, right, for 5 yards and 3 interceptions.
And it's not even like Michael Vick came in and did any better.
It's not, but it's
Did
like
how many picks did Vick throw? I
Vic
think it was
fumbled
3.
4 times, lost
Fumble.
2, and threw a pick.
Oh, he threw for some reason I thought he threw 3 as well. I
He turned
think.
the ball over 3 times.
Okay.
But geez, the Jets just, oh my gosh, oh dear. I don't want to sit here and act like it's new. It's like it's news that they're awful. We've seen it, for the past 7 weeks. But this is just ridiculous to the point where it actually is funny. I can actually sit back and not feel bad. It's genuinely funny to me now. What do you think of the Jets as an organization though?
Oh man, horrible GM.
Oh, awful. Jeez.
Um, and then Rex Ryan. Every time he talks, I just laugh. And then Geno Smith says every time that he's gonna keep getting better, but he never does.
Yeah, he's oh
So,
dear.
it's now to a point where I can laugh at the like if I'm in a bad mood, I just watch the Jets play football and I'm fine.
You know,
It's that bad.
I actually think that Rex Ryan is sort of the only winning factor on that whole team, on that whole organization
Rex
rather.
Ryan, he's a great coach.
Not
It's
very
just
offensively minded, but he's,
no.
as he's the only thing that works there, and it
People
hasn't
seem to
translated into
forget
wins.
that he went to 2 straight AFC championships
Exactly, yeah.
with Mark Sanchez, who is not a great quarterback
But
either. So, you know,
he still needs to
uh,
go, I think.
uh,
I wanted to ask you that. Do you think both the general manager and Rex should get up out of there?
general manager should have been gone a long time ago. Rex Ryan should stay because it's not his fault that he has terrible players to coach.
Ooh, you think he should stay?
Yes, I generally do generally think that he should stay. I will tweet that as
That's
well. I
That's
promise.
interesting that you say that. Because I just think, you need to just clean house and just start over fresh. And it's not Rex Ryan's fault, I realize that, but the fact that you can't have a coach that just knows that little about, how an offense works. He's a great defensive coordinator, and that's why the Jets defense, despite not having the best talent, like in the secondary and whatnot,
But they're
have,
still good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's because of the coaching. But the offensive side of the ball, dearie me, dearie me. Granted, it is
It's
Geno, but
well, it's not. It's all Geno. It's not Eric Decker's fault. It's not Percy Harvin's fault. It's just Geno Smith. And I feel bad for the whole team because Geno Smith just makes them look horrible.
Vic will be starting week 9, so that'll be interesting to see him get a full game's worth of reps. That'll be
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
I'm gonna steal all these topics from a certain source that I will not disclose on air, but it's a great source. So let's see. Uh, let's talk about these Cowboys.
How
Did the
about them
did the
Cowboys?
Cowboys get exposed? Would you say? I didn't actually watch this game, so this is all you.
Um, See, I don't know because they didn't play horrible. I think just the Redskins have somehow the past couple of weeks, well, certain weeks, they've come out and they've just played well, and this time they happen to win.
Hmm.
Because remember the Monday night game against the Seahawks? It took a Russell Wilson final drive to ice it finally. And at that time, the Seahawks were the best team in the NFL. So I don't see it as the Cowboys exposed. I see it as the Redskins just came out ready to play, and yeah,
Yeah, it's also a thing of division games, and especially a division rivalry in this one.
yeah, that kind of rivalry.
You can be playing like garbage the whole season, but then when you get to that division rival, you just find it in you to just will your way to a good game that's contested. So,
Exactly.
but speaking of division games, let's talk about Cincinnati versus Baltimore
Hey,
in
that
Cincinnati. Now,
was a great game, man.
it was a great game.
No hard feelings, because in case viewers do not know this, Chad is a Ravens fan, and I am a diehard Bengals
Bleed purple. Sorry, go ahead.
fan.
Yeah.
So, Houday Nation, shout out.
That's all. Is that what Cincinnati's is? Is that really it?
Yes, Houday. You did not know that? Let's roar.
Wow,
Hashtag.
that's awful.
Whatever.
It's like, hey, what's the Saints one again? Let's just take that and alter it slightly.
I don't even remember the Saints if I'm being
It's
completely
who dat
honest.
for the
Oh
Saints, young
yeah, I
sir.
forgot. Oh yeah, I don't care enough to remember that.
Typical
Who
Cincy
cares?
fan.
Who cares about the Saints?
Yeah, that is true. All right, well, let's just quickly talk about this game. Like you said, there's no hard feelings. Um,
No, nothing personal.
this, for the most part, was a heavily. The score says otherwise, but Cincinnati, in all honesty, should have won this game more definitively than just 3 points. Because
Yeah,
Joe
and I'm
Flacco,
and
go ahead.
I'm saying I was just gonna say that I'm saying that as a all professionally saying that. I'm not saying it as a diehard fan of the team.
You're right. You're right.
Everything I'm gonna say, everything I say is all professional and analyst and whatever.
But yeah, Joe Flacco threw 2 interceptions back to back that just shot us in the foot. But then you guys don't know how to handle prosperity because then I think it may have been a tight end for Cincinnati. I forgot his name. It may have been Gresham. I'm not sure, but
Jermaine
he
Gresham.
I think he caught a pass and he was on the ground, but no one touched him. So he got up and then got stripped, and then Baltimore got the ball back and scored. So
Yes, I do remember
the
this.
game became closer, and then, as we all know, the game concluded with an interesting series of events. I think we were on our own, maybe 12. I'm not sure, but
I would
then
love to. Can I ask you a question?
yeah,
Because I
sure,
think I know what you're about to.
yeah.
What is your opinion on the pass interference call.
I don't think you're gonna like my opinion.
I don't. I knew you were gonna say. I know what you're gonna say. So
All right, look,
you should just say
I'll
it.
put it to you this way. I do think that there was pass interference. If you just look at what Steve Smith did, which by the way I don't think he needed to do anyway, he had better
No,
position. But the thing is, Illy, I think it was Iloka, the
George.
safety.
Yeah, Georgia logo.
He he fell over for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Steve Smith did grab him, but that was a expert level LeBron level flop. That was very well orchestrated to
See,
sell
and
it.
I now put in my word. Okay.
All right.
I will admit, when you watch it, you have to look at it from a ref's point of view because when you're watching it in full motion, that looks completely like Steve Smith shoved him.
Right. Yeah.
You don't realize until you look at slow mo that it was. I mean, he did still push him. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't like
Yeah.
it wasn't like a huge flop. So there probably would have been pass interference anyway if they looked back at slow mo. But it wasn't a huge push, so he probably didn't need the fall. Unless, I mean, we'll never know, but maybe he did fall because of the push. I mean, we'll never know.
I
So
mean,
you
push
have to look at it
offs.
from the ref's point of view on how they make the call.
Yeah, I understand that, and as a Ravens fan watching it, just that penalty in the context of the game, I was shouting. I was so ecstatic that Steve Smith caught that pass. I was on the ground. I was so excited, and then I saw that dreadful yellow box appear under the score, and I was like, no, no. And then when I saw the replay and I saw that the guy flopped, I was like, well, it was pass interference, but he didn't need to do all that.
Yeah,
Would the penalty have been called if he didn't fall back like that? That's the question.
I mean, and we'll never know. I mean,
But I'm fine with the call, but I would love for us to be winning the division right now at 6-2 rather than 5-3. But
yeah.
it's only
But
week 9.
I feel like the Bengals they needed that win so badly. It was because the fact that October had just been a horrible month
Oh yeah,
for them. I mean, they got destroyed by the Patriots to start off with, and then you come later and you miss a 36-yarder that would have got a W, and now instead you have a tie.
yeah.
And then you're
Um,
playing in a game for the division lead at the halfway point. So I mean, I feel like this is a win. It would have been a great win for the Ravens. I don't think it means anything. The Ravens are still a wonderful team, great team, still going to make the playoffs in my opinion. Just I think that the Bengals needed this win so badly.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know why the Bengals had such an identity crisis the past 2 to 3 weeks. Because I already knew that when they play us, I guarantee we won't get the bad Bengals that everybody else has been getting. I guarantee it. We're going to get the ones that know how to move the ball and can play defense and create turnovers and all that good stuff. But meanwhile, everybody else, like the Patriots and Carolina, you can put up 37 on them.
Yeah.
So,
And AJ Green was out and not playing.
yeah, but that pass to Sanu to set up that QB sneak to go up 3 points,
Oh my God.
infuriating.
See, I was watching this at a bar in Florida too, and everyone else was watching the Tampa Bay game, and they for some reason had like one TV playing the Bengals Ravens. They had like one TV playing each other game, and like 50 playing Tampa.
Tampa Bay.
And then so yeah, I'm like screaming at the top of my lungs at this bar. But okay.
By the way, just want to point out, Ravens were missing their number one corner in a certain Jimmy Smith, so that's notable.
And the Bengals were missing AJ Green, so you can't really.
Dang it, yeah, that's true. Okay, all right, fair enough.
You're gonna keep trying to throw them at me, man.
All right, fair enough. Let's see what else is there to talk about. I know a lot of cool stuff happened. Let's talk about Seattle versus Carolina. This is the third straight year. It's been a closely contested, low-scoring game, and this time Seattle once again comes out on top. I forgot.
Wilson to Wilson, baby.
Yeah, would do you think that Seattle is out of the woods, and this is a game that going forward reestablishes them in the contention?
Um, I don't know. This was the game they needed to win. I know that. I don't think it puts them back on the map or anything like that. I mean, the fact that Russell Wilson drove him down the field again in the end of the fourth, it just, in my opinion, it brings them back to Super Bowl contention. But that's just me, and my opinion is different than everyone else's 99% of the times.
This is true.
So I don't know exactly how that works with everyone else, but I feel like they're back. It's just there's so much off the field stuff going on that you don't know if any team can go overcome it. So only time will tell how what happens later.
Now, it's interesting that you mentioned you don't know how they'll overcome it. Are you referring to the distractions going on with Percy Harvin and locker room issues and things like that? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, the Percy Harvin thing. I feel like the team's over that now. If they're
Yeah,
not
I
over
agree.
that, then they've got more issues. The more issue I was talking about was the Marshawn Lynch story that's going on,
Oh
where he
yeah,
says he
yeah.
won't be playing with the team next year. I feel like that's an issue because that's gonna last the whole year. That's not like the Percy Harvin one where it'll go away because he's gone and now there's nothing to deal with. Marshawn Lynch is gonna be there for the rest of the season, and if they make it to a Super Bowl and happen to win it, so I feel like that's a bigger issue for the locker room and the fans.
Right, right. As far as the Panthers go, I'm not sure where I sit with them. It's weird. Last year they were such a good team, and now it's just I don't know. I mean, aside from Calvin Benjamin, where does your offense lie? But between
Yeah,
him and Greg Olson, who are you really threatened by on that whole team?
nobody.
Yeah,
I think that's the point.
this is interesting. Who do you think's better, Russell Wilson or Cam Newton in general?
Russell Wilson.
All things considered. Really? Taking
Yeah.
Russell Wilson?
Yes. You're gonna go with Cam because we always disagree.
Oh no, no.
Oh, you go with Russell too?
I've never mentioned it before because I've never needed to, but I am a huge Russell Wilson advocate. I am a stand for Russell Wilson. So,
Yeah, me too.
um, just so clutch that last drive to beat Carolina. By the way,
It was. It was. That,
uh,
but that's what Russell Wilson does. I
indeed.
mean, some people are surprised by that, but I'm like, I've been seeing this for 3 years. I don't know what everyone else has been looking at.
This is true. Now every week we do picks on the show, and each week we do the smart thing. We try to predict upsets. We try to look at the Vegas over under and see what makes the most sense given how teams perform each week. But there were some things that happened that make absolutely no sense. Like for instance, we talked about the Redskins beating Dallas in Dallas, I believe, right?
Hmm.
But now let's go ahead and just refer slightly to these Colts.
Oh man.
Indianapolis versus Pittsburgh.
I,
Pittsburgh blew the Colts out 51 to 34. What?
Ben Roethlisberger, 6 touchdowns over 500 yards. Oh man.
What? Ben
See,
Roethlisberger is the only quarterback with two 500-yard games.
that's why he's a future Hall of Famer.
I don't understand, Hunter. Can you? You're the X and O's guy. Why did this happen? I don't understand.
It happened because I don't know if anyone's broke down the film. I actually went back and watched the game and broke down how bad the Colts defense played.
NFL Rewind.
And if actually no,
No.
I actually watched the game like a live rerun of it.
Oh, okay.
If you just watch, the corners and safeties did not do anything. You know, they went from a team that blew out the Bengals and just played horrendous. And it wasn't, I mean, obviously, if you throw 6 touchdowns to 500 yards, you obviously did something good. But the Colts kind of handed it to him as well.
It should also be noted that Antoine Bethea and Vontae Davis were not playing.
Yes. That
which
is true.
definitely hurt the Colts.
But I don't think it hurt. It should have hurt them that much.
Pittsburgh's offense looked really, really good and really balanced.
Antonio Brown went off.
Martavis Bryant, Lance Moore, Heath Miller, like that, just everything they were doing. The offensive line played so well. Like they protected Ben, and even
Yeah.
in the situations where he was getting pressured, it's not like he was throwing balls away. He was still making completions. So
Yeah.
also the pass rush. I think you were alluding to that,
No,
but the pass rush,
I was gonna mention that the pass rush was just horrible.
awful.
I mean,
Jeez.
when you give Ben Roethlisberger over 10 seconds to throw the ball, how is he not gonna score 6 touchdowns?
Yeah,
That's what I'm
Ben's
saying.
going through like four or five reads.
The Colts basically handed Ben Roethlisberger the ball and said throw it, and then he threw it to Antonio Brown and Heath Miller and everyone else for 6 touchdowns. So.
Yeah. Um,
And it
it,
wasn't like Andrew Luck had a horrible day. It was all the defense.
yeah, it really was. I mean, Angelo did throw a pick. I think he did he only throw one.
I think yeah, one.
Yeah, he threw that one
I think
to
so.
I forgot who it was, but he jumped that corner route and not a corner route, the curl route and took that home. So this, by the way, I'm not going to get sucked into this trend to view the NFL as like a week to week change your opinion
Yeah,
every 7 days type thing. I
yeah.
still think Pittsburgh's not that good, and I still think Indianapolis is very good.
And you're
I'm
saying that not as a Steelers hater. You're
I'm not.
saying
Yeah,
that from a yeah.
I'm being professional because I was
I
thoroughly
just
impressed by Pittsburgh in that game. I was thoroughly impressed by their
I think
offense.
everybody was. If you weren't impressed, then you're just
You're blinded by hate.
yes, then you're just a very big Ravens fan who doesn't care about anybody else.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, big ups to Pittsburgh, I guess. But I think they're 5-3 now, just like Baltimore. So
Yes.
that's
I would like to. Can I mention one other thing before we get to our picks?
yeah. Sure, go ahead.
This AFC North, I tweeted this earlier in the week. The AFC North is the best division in football right now because you have all four teams are over 500.
This is true.
You have the Bengals at 4-2-1, the Ravens at 5-3, Pittsburgh at 5-3, and the Browns are 4-3. That
Um,
is,
I don't agree, but that's
you know, who is the best division? Are you gonna say the NFC West?
of course.
But the Rams, man,
Look,
Rams don't do
here's the
anything.
thing, Hunter. Every season, the Rams and Browns cancel each other out because they're always awful. I'll like, I,
But the Browns aren't bad this year.
but the Browns, who they lose to last week?
That's one game.
No,
You
but I'm
you
just
even
saying
said
the
you even
Rams.
said no week to week basis.
No, but look, that I think just based off of the Rams, the way that they played against San Francisco, the way that they beat Seattle, and then I forgot who they beat this week. Who they? No, they had a bye this week.
I'm
No,
pretty
they played the
sure.
Chiefs and lost terribly.
Chief,
So never
yes.
mind. The Rams and the Browns. I think the Rams are as good as the Browns, to be honest.
You are?
Yeah,
It's just they are. I mean, I'll give it to them. They are in one of the toughest
but you would agree
divisions.
that both teams are obviously the worst of their division.
Yes,
But
yes, I would
they're
agree
both
that.
decent teams, though.
Yeah, I would say the Browns are better right now, just with the players they have.
Mm, I'm not gonna concede, but I see where you're coming from. Yeah.
Because they both have, I feel like they're both about even. I just think in a couple of smaller areas, the Browns are just a little bit ahead, just a little bit, like an inch.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's just that Pittsburgh's not good either. Like the record says otherwise, but they're not good.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, and also Pittsburgh doesn't really have anything else to fall back on. Like I think they do have some injured defensive players, but what team doesn't these days? So you can't even fall back on that. So one last thing that we attempted to predict last week, I think both of us were emphatic about picking Green Bay over New Orleans. Is that correct?
I know that I picked the Packers. I don't know if you did.
I did. I did.
Okay.
And the Saints dropped 44 on them at home. And Aaron Rodgers looked a bit gimpy towards the end of that game. So, what does this mean? What does this mean?
I don't know. Maybe that the Saints can only win at home, only play good at home. That's what I got out of it.
I think it means Green Bay's
Because
defense is terrible.
you do?
That's what it means. Yep. Yep. No, their run defense is awful. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
I
I
think
agree.
actually, I think they are the worst run defense in the NFL.
You're gonna go that far.
Uh, Look it up. If I'm not
Okay.
mistaken, if I'm
I
not
will.
mistaken,
I
I
will
think
after the pod is over. I
I
will do
think they are
that.
number 32 in run defense. Say some stuff about that game while I look it up right now.
Okay. Well, it's, it's just hard because every time I've been like, I think the Saints are gonna do it this week. It's been no, they don't. They got destroyed. So
Yeah.
it's hard. It was hard for anybody to go with them against arguably one of the better teams in the league.
Yeah, Green
But
Bay has given up 1,228 yards this season. They're the worst in the NFL. There you go. Sorry.
no, that's fine.
But yeah, Mark
It's
Ingram
just
went off against Green Bay,
yes.
and I didn't watch a ton of this because it looked like a blowout, so I went to sleep. But um, I don't think Green Bay needs to be worried. As long as Aaron Rodgers is healthy, anything is possible. That's the motto, basically.
Okay.
And New Orleans is still irrelevant, even though they're in a terrible division. That's just how I
Yeah.
feel. I'm not confident in New Orleans by any means.
No, I don't think anybody should be.
Um, I feel like there's other stuff to mention that happened in Week 8. There has to be.
I
Patriots
mean,
dropped 51 on the Bears. Jay Cutler's awful. Tom Brady, if you give him time, he's great.
I wouldn't go that far and say J. Cole was horrible. It's just he's not making smart decisions as of now.
As of
Because
now.
Flashback Friday, if you remember that back when the I can't remember what year it was. A couple years ago when the Packers won the Super Bowl, who did they have to beat to get to the Super Bowl that year? Who did they have to beat in the NFC Championship?
Um,
Any guesses? Any guesses?
Chicago.
Yes.
Can't
So
believe I got
I
it right.
don't see. I'm not going to go as far and say that Jay Cutler was horrible. I feel like it's a team effort to lose most of the time. Most of the time. But it was just a bad game.
No, Jay
And
Cutler's
they
horrible.
have a bye this week to look it over. So
Um, yeah, Jay Cutler's terrible. Let's see.
I'm
T-
ready to go into the our picks if you are.
there's one more thing to mention about the
One more
Bears.
thing?
There's one
Okay.
more thing. This is really. It's not funny that someone got hurt, but it is funny. All right, so basically, Lamar Houston of the Chicago Bears sacked the
Oh
second
yes.
sacked the second string Patriots QB. And during his sack celebration,
He tears his
he tore
ACL.
he tore his ACL. I'm sorry, it's not funny. It's not funny, but
No,
uh,
it's hilarious.
that's absolutely
Just go with
hilarious.
it. It's hilarious. I mean, you're losing by like 20 something points, and
Oh
you
my
celebrate a
gosh,
sack against a backup quarterback.
against Garoppolo, come on, man.
Well, Grapple is Patriot of the future.
Of course, but like you don't like you have to understand why he's in the game. It's because the
Understand
game's
the
over.
situation that you are in.
Yes,
Yes.
there's nothing to be happy about whatsoever.
Okay. So
All right,
I'm ready for picks. I don't know if you are. I'm ready to make some horrible picks once again this week.
okay. I guess I'll word these questions later once we do our picks. Um, Broncos beat the Chargers, by the way. All right, week 9.
That was
Uh,
on Thursday night. Nobody remembers that.
yeah. This podcast is done too late in the week for that to matter. Let's see here. Thursday, October 30th. Um, the Saints will be
Saints back
playing
at it, man.
the Panthers.
This is a game where the Saints can prove them. Because they are on the road, if I'm reading this correctly.
You are, yeah.
Okay, so this is a game where the Saints can prove uh, that they are not terrible unless they are at home. It's kind of like the Falcons deal. You know how every time I preach about Matt Ryan only playing good at home, and I've
Indeed.
been right every week so far, if I'm not mistaken.
You were wrong once.
When was I wrong?
Because the Falcons lost against, who'd they play? Falcons. Wait, never mind. Sorry. Wait,
Okay, back to the point.
hold on. I'm looking back through the weeks, frantically trying to find the game that they
Oh my
lost
God.
at home. Alright, never mind. You win.
Uh-huh. So, uh, th- this game, I'm gonna pick the Panthers because I do believe that the Saints are just bad this year. Their defense is horrendous. And no offense to Drew Brees, he's just not having a great year. I mean, he's still obviously a first ballot Hall of Famer. Nobody tell me that, oh, Hunter went off on Drew Brees. I'm not. I'm just saying he's not having a better year this year than we're used to.
Are
So
you by
I'm
any
gonna go.
chance going off on Drew Brees?
No, I'm not.
Okay, just making
I'm going
sure.
with the Panthers. I'm going Panthers. I'm going to pick scores this week as well. I'm going to add a little bit more.
Okay.
I'm going to pick the score. I'm going to go Panthers 24, Saints 14.
Panthers 24, Saints 14. You know the reason why I don't do scores? Because
Because
I'm not good at
it's
math.
impossible to get it right too.
I'm not good at math, and I don't know what score makes sense. I'll say something stupid like 18 to 4. And it's just like, dang it, that doesn't sound right.
You don't want to try?
I'll give it a go this week. It's gonna be
Okay.
ridiculous, but Saints Panthers. Both teams are so bad. Let's see. I'm actually gonna take Panthers.
Okay.
Because it is a home game for them. You did say Panthers, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'll say Panthers. Uh, Panthers 28, Saints 20.
Okay. You know what?
Uh,
I'm gonna help you out this week, and I will name off the games and ask you first.
all right, cool.
I will technically, quote unquote, host this section.
Oh, okay. Moving on up in the world.
So our next game we got here is Buccaneers at Browns.
Jeez. All right. I'm not gonna do something stupid. It's a Cleveland game. Cleveland is a better team than Tampa by all reports. I'll say Cleveland wins 35 to 10. There you go.
I'll go Browns as well. I don't know if you've seen the reports, but apparently Johnny Manziel has been getting mad that he is not playing at all. I don't know if you've read anything about that.
Well, I
I
don't
know
read
I
anything.
have. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Browns as well. I'll go low score, 17-10.
Okay.
Next game, Jaguars at Bengals. There's a 100% chance that this game does not sell out.
Uh,
Is
this
it even?
this is
I
a tough
mean,
one, man. This I'm having a hard time with this one. I'm gonna go Cincinnati. Um, I'm gonna go Cincinnati 20 to 3. No, 20 to
wow.
10.
Wow. See, I've been debating on what the score is gonna be, and I'm gonna say Andy Dalton goes for 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. AJ Green will come back from the injury this week. He will catch 2 touchdowns. Mohamed Sanu will have the other. And then Jeremy Hill will rush for 2 more touchdowns. So I don't remember the fifth, and
What?
I'm pretty sure, because Giovanni Bernard is hurt, and so we're not sure if he's going to play. So Jeremy Hill,
You have the Bengals
uh,
scoring 5 touchdowns through 3 people?
yes, I'm trying.
What?
7, 40, 21, 28. That's 35 points. I'm going to go 42. Is that 30? No, I'm going to go 41 with 2 field goals. So I will go 41 to 10.
Wow. Okay. You just okay.
And no fandom, I swear. This is all
I
professional.
don't think Jacksonville's defense is that bad. Yeah, I like my score better.
Okay. Next game, which this should be a wonderful game, depending on whether Tony Romo plays or not. Cardinals at Cowboys.
uh,
And I don't know why it's such a tough game because last year it would have been Cardinals easy. But now, even with Romo hurt, I'm still trying. I still don't know.
man, I want to take Dallas. I'm going to take Dallas.
I see. I feel like I've jumped on the Cowboys bandwagon because of that offensive line. I just they haven't played the one better team they've played this year. They lost to in the Niners,
But
and every other team they've beat has a losing record or at 500.
hmm,
And in
uh,
case somebody not knowing, the Seahawks now are at 4-3, but at the time, no, they're not 4-3. What's their right? They played eight. How many games did they play?
the Seahawks are
No, they are 4-3. Yes, they are
yeah.
4-3. I corrected myself. They were 3-3 last week, so that number was technically still correct until this week.
So the
But the
Cowboys don't
Cowboys,
get any credit for beating the Saints and Seattle.
no, they do. It's just they're not teams this year that quote unquote what we expected. Because if you look at the schedule at the beginning of the year for the Cowboys, do you see them going 6-2 in 8 games?
No.
No, I don't think anybody does. I don't even think Cowboys fans thought that. So I'm saying all this because I don't know who to pick. Oh,
No, you so quickly wanted to jump to the picks section of the show, and I was going to ask you this question back during the recap section. My question was, when are we ready to induct Arizona into that area where we're like, yeah, this is a great football team? Because I feel
I
like every
I
week,
inducted them about 4 weeks ago.
really,
Yes, they were a great team last year. They just happened to go to a bad start, and sadly, it ruined their playoff chances. It also ruined their playoff chances that they're in that division.
So do you
So
think
I've believed
Ariz?
since last year that they've been a great team. So
But
this is no surprise to me to start the way they're playing
but
this
do you
year.
think they're the best team in the NFC, despite having the best record in the NFC? Do you think they're the best team in the NFC?
Uh, I feel like there's like 4 teams that you could say that could be the best team in the NFC, arguably.
No,
I'm not.
I just want
I'm
your
not going to
opinion.
mention them. I'm not going to mention the teams. I don't feel like getting into it that much.
I just wanted your opinion. Do you think the Cardinals are the best in the NFC? It's a simple yes or no question. I'm not forcing
It's
you.
not a simple question.
All
It's
right then.
not.
All right, fine, fine. Just dodge around it. Just so.
I'm gonna pick Cardinals to win this game.
Okay.
I'll pick them to win 31-28, winning field goal. There we go. That helps a little bit.
Mm,
So next game, this game should be a little easier to pick. Eagles at Texans.
um, give me Philadelphia 31-17.
See, I was gonna say Philadelphia 31-14, but so
I'll give Houston the field goal. J.J. Watt to kick a field goal.
he'll kick a field goal.
Yeah.
I'll give him 2 fumble recoveries for touchdown. So next game, I think this should be a lot easier. Jets at Chiefs. Michael Vick starting at quarterback, obviously.
I believe Alex Smith is nursing a shoulder issue.
Yes, he is.
So
But I don't think that's an issue when all you have to do is hand the ball off to Jamal Charles.
yeah, it shouldn't be a problem.
I'm going to go Chiefs. See, I'm going to say the Jets are going to score 4 touchdowns, all throwing,
What?
because I do believe Michael Vick will have a big game because he has been waiting for this moment since the beginning of the year. and I don't think he's going to throw it away. I think he will throw 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. I will go there.
You're being a wee bit ridiculous.
That's
Just
not
a wee bit.
ridiculous. Just watch.
You think he's gonna throw 4 touchdowns?
4 touchdowns.
Have you seen this man play?
Now, as I say this, it seems I'll go back to 2 touchdowns.
No.
No,
It's like
I'm going
chess.
back to
Once
2
you move the
touchdowns.
piece, it's gotta stay there.
I don't play chess. I'm going 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Nah, you said 4. Okay. I'll
21 to 34 Chiefs. 21-34.
21-34. Is that what you said?
Yes.
I'm gonna say Chiefs win. Cause I'll take 30. I don't know what numbers are possible. I'm not good at math. I'll say 34 again, because I know that's possible. 34-17. There you go. No, 34-10.
Okay.
That was painful. Jeez.
Chargers at Dolphins.
Chargers will win
Chargers.
28-21.
Wow.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, snap, son. Please try again in a few minutes. Huh. A few moments, rather. Let's just try again now. And see if it works. Now, my favorite thing about technical difficulties is that they just show that it's a way to test how far you're willing to go to do a simple podcast using Google Hangouts. And, once you survive a couple of technical difficulties, you become a stronger person as a result of it. And I feel like I have. Oh, look, there's me. I'm glad this is all going to be in the show. I'm not cutting any of this out. I'm the first one here. What? Let's see. How does one call a person? I'm not starting over. There he is. He's calling. And untitled. Green quotations. Join. Hey, nothing happened. That was the most seamless transition I've ever seen.
Wow.
So as you were saying, something about Chargers Dolphins?
Yes, and I want to apologize for the technical difficulties.
Yes, as would I.
I don't know what happened there. I was just talking, and I didn't even look up to realize that it wasn't on. So I don't remember what I said exactly. I was saying something about the Chargers and the Dolphins and how the Dolphins were not a bad team.
Right.
That's what I remember. And I think I said my score. I don't remember that either.
Okay.
So
I don't either.
let's just move on to the next game.
Oh, I want to ask you, does Ryan Matthews' supposed return affect the Chargers in any way, or does it not matter because they have so many good running backs? Well, one good running back.
I don't think he'll do anything this week. I think next week is when he'll hit in stride.
Yeah, because Miami's not the best team to go against on your first day out, back out.
Yeah.
All right.
Skins at Vikings.
I'll take Minnesota.
RG3. I'm sorry to cut you off. RG3 has been is cleared to play and will be starting. So I don't know if that has an effect on your pick.
Despite your insight and your inside reports, I don't think he'll play. So.
Oh wow! You're saying an NFL.com report.
Well, wait. When's the report from? Because Stephania Bell said she doesn't think he'll play.
Stefania Bell. No offense to Stefania, because I love her. She's not right this time. I love
Okay.
Stefania Bell, but I'm sorry, she is not right. RG3 will be playing.
Well, just so you know, the quarterback doesn't matter in this
Either
one.
way, I'm picking the Vikings. It wouldn't
Yeah,
matter to me if RG3 was
yeah,
playing.
that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. I think Minnesota's winning. I think
14 to 7.
Yeah, I was gonna say a low scoring game too. I was gonna say 17-7.
Yes, yeah, same thing. So now we're at the 4 o'clock games. We got Niners or Rams at Niners.
Oh man, this is tough. If there are no ridiculous penalties, and if there are no ridiculous Janoris Jenkins falling for a stop and go and getting burnt, if none of that happens, this could be a closely contested game. But I still think that 49ers win 24-20.
Yeah, I'll go 21-17 Niners. If it was not at Levi Stadium, I would right now I might have picked the Rams. But the
Might
Niners
have.
are home, so it's okay, here we go.
Oh
This is the
dear.
game of the week.
Oh gosh.
Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady. Oh man. Ah, I'm so excited.
Man, this is tough. Like I know that Peyton Manning is 4-0 from their last four meetings. Thanks Instagram. Thank you NFL's Instagram. I appreciate that insight. Um, and it's not like either of them have played badly in the past couple of meetings that they've had. Both these teams are good, and both these teams lack stuff in key areas, but they make up for it in other ones. So,
And the Patriots are home. I will
Patriots are
add that.
home. As much as it pains me to say it, I'm taking New England. As much as it
You are?
pains me to say
Five in
it,
a row?
uh,
Yeah,
yeah, I'll take New England. I think it'll be 35-31.
so before I make my pick, I'm gonna read today during Bill Belichick's press conference. I'm gonna read you a question that one of the reporters asked,
Okay.
and then I want you to guess how Bill Belichick answered. Okay?
Okay.
Very simple. Okay. You've prepared to face Peyton Manning. Uh, you've prepared to face a Peyton Manning offense more than 20 times in your coaching career. Is there one common thread that stands out to you over the years about how those preparations and then the game have unfolded?
He probably said, um, we're moving on to week 9.
I wish that's what he said.
No, I don't know what he
He
said.
said after all that, he said, "I guess Manning."
Wow.
So,
Oh,
thank
that's
you, Bill
awesome.
Belichick. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Broncos.
Oh man.
Broncos are gonna win in overtime, 38-35. There we go.
38-35. See,
They will
okay.
win under 5 minutes left in overtime as well.
Uh,
I do. It's such a hard decision. It's
yeah,
so
because like
hard.
the thing is, if you ask me which team's better, I'll tell you Denver. But in this
Yeah,
particular instance, where
it's so because Peyton Manning, not Peyton Manning, Tom Brady has 14 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in the month of October.
but Broncos pass, like Broncos defense,
It's
just
just yeah that
in
he has to face a defense
in
like
general
the
is
Broncos.
crazy.
I'm
It's
just gonna
too
go
late to.
Broncos because it's a safe pick. I mean, the Broncos are obviously the better, not obviously, but they're the better team, and it's defensively. Uh, really, Darrell Revis is the only Patriots defender other than like Mayo's out for the year. So other than like Vince Wilfork,
And
there's
Chandler
not
Jones is out too.
yeah. So there's not really anybody else that I can really name that's going to be a
Uh,
factor. But you can't change. You said The
No,
pick
you
and
dialed back Michael Vick's performance from 4 touchdowns to 2. I could change my pick. You know
man,
what?
it's not
Nah,
fair.
forget it. Forget it.
You
It's
gotta
all.
go loyal, man.
Yeah, I'll go Patriots. Forget it. Yeah.
You know
All
what?
right.
It's gonna be a great game either way.
Yes, it will. I'll be
Can
watching.
we can we watch this game together? You know what? Let's talk about that after off air. It's not gonna
Oh, you want to
happen.
watch the game together?
Raiders at Seahawks.
Nice segue. Um,
Raiders at Seahawks.
all I know is I'm starting Doug Baldwin this week. Sorry, wrong podcast.
Hey man. I talk fantasy every day, every second of the day. But you
I'm
are
taking
right.
Raiders actually.
This is not the fantasy
I'm
podcast.
taking Raiders.
Are you
I don't care
serious?
that it's CenturyLink.
You don't.
CenturyLink isn't even a thing anymore. After Dallas went there, I don't even care anymore. It's just a regular stadium. So I'm taking Oakland 28. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'll take Seattle.
Oh
Um,
my
I'll take
god.
Seattle 24 to 21. Seattle.
You gave me a heart attack. Oh my god.
You see how
The
calmly I was saying
only
everything?
team that hasn't won a game, and you say they're gonna beat the Seahawks at CenturyLink. Wow. Okay. I'm very okay. I'm gonna go Seahawks 35-7. No, 35-21. For some reason, I thought 7. I was like, Derek Carr is on the team, so he's gonna score a
Yeah, we
touchdown.
both have them scoring 21 points. Interesting.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So I know this is gonna be your favorite game of the week.
Yep.
Ravens versus Steelers
Not even a
on
question.
Sunday Night
Not
Football.
even a question.
Thank you very much, at NBC, for giving me this game on prime time because I love watching this game, these series, this rivalry on national television at night. I don't know why, because I hate both teams. Sorry, Chad. I just love watching this game on prime time. I don't know why. I, Probably just because I love good football. That's my excuse right there.
uh, I'm gonna. This one's super super easy to pick because the easy one is Pittsburgh. I'm gonna say Pittsburgh, even though obviously I'm rooting for Baltimore, but I'm gonna say Pittsburgh
Yes.
because I think that's what'll happen. Um, but here's the thing: it's all contingent. It's like the Andy Dalton syndrome. It all depends on the kind of game Joe Flacco has. It's
Yes.
not like our defense can generate turnovers when it wants to. Our pass rush can get sacks when it wants to. But when it ultimately comes down to it, we need to be scoring and holding serve every single time we get the ball. So, if Joe Flacco has a good game, and if our three-headed monster has a good game, then we win. But if Joe Flacco turns the ball over more than one time, it's over. Because I'm genuinely scared by Pittsburgh's offense. Like I'm genuinely a bit frightened by that. So I'm gonna say Pittsburgh wins. Unfortunately, 28, 28-24. Bam.
You heard it here, folks, from the #1 Ravens insider, Chad Sutton.
And Justin Forsett's ankle is a bit mingy, so we have to watch out for that as
Lorenzo
well.
Talaferio.
You
Hey.
pronounce his name differently each week.
I do every time. I'm giving up trying. I'm just gonna call him Lorenzo from now on because I
There you
don't.
go.
Is that even his name,
Yes,
Lorenzo?
Lorenzo.
Okay, for some reason I thought that was wrong as well. I'm gonna go Ravens. Uh, I do because it is all in that Joe Flacco thing
Right.
that you mentioned, and I do feel like that Joe Flacco will have a big game because he seems to always play well in this rivalry. I don't have the numbers and the stats in front of me, but I am pretty sure that he tends to win a lot, and if he doesn't win, he plays very well. So,
Right. And simply
uh,
put, as long as he doesn't play the way he did against Cincinnati, this should be a good win for us. But here's the thing. The reason I'm saying Pittsburgh, I'm pulling a Skip Bayless. I'm rooting against my team because that negative energy will be channeled into a victory for Baltimore. So that's how it works.
You're using your professional life
Yes.
to go over your fan life.
Yes.
That's fine. That's fine. I've done it a couple times before, actually. So, last game, Monday Night Football, we have Colts versus Giants.
This one's super easy.
Colts coming off of that. I mean, obviously, uh, obvious destruction of a defense there.
The
So,
Giants simply are not built to win this game, unfortunately. It's just like just looking at it, the personnel isn't there for me to even entertain the idea of them winning. Uh, a Rashad Jennings team, a Victor Cruz-less team.
yeah, I was just about to mention the Victor Cruz.
Uh, I don't see it. Nope, Colts. But
Yeah,
here's the thing,
I'll go
though.
Colts.
Here's the thing. Even if the Colts defense, like the pass rush is still awful, and if those guys I mentioned before, like Buffet, Angerer, and Davis, are not playing, even then, I still think this is a pretty one-sided affair. I'm going to take the Colts 41-14. Bam.
Hey, I um, it's not the game decision that's so hard. It's the points scored.
Yes, it is.
I'll go 35-14.
35-14. You think
So
Angelic has that good of a game?
yeah, oh yeah. Because last week he didn't have a horrible game,
Yeah, yeah.
and he still looked bad. So this week he's gonna have a great game and look amazing.
This is true.
So does that do it, or are we gonna do this little NBA? You want to try to do this NBA? This,
Well, yeah,
what I don't even know what I'm calling it. I keep
I
saying
just wanna
NBA.
I just want to get your
NBA.
opinions first on one thing. Do you think it's trivial to rank NFL teams 9 weeks in? Like, do you think that's even worth talking about? Because I kind of wanted to mention, because last week we did our top five, bottom three, and the bottom three doesn't really need to be done because it's the same every
It's
week.
always the same, yeah.
But I just want to know, based off of what happened this week, who are your top five teams? And if you can't name top five, top three.
Well, I don't think I can name my top five. I will say that Cowboys are still in my top five. I will mention that.
Okay.
Uh, well, I can't believe you didn't like freak out or something. I thought you would have something to say about that.
About what?
About the Cowboys still being in my top five even after losing to the Redskins.
I mean, no, I'm fine with that. That's
Okay.
perfectly fine.
Number one, Broncos. Number two, um, and number three, Patriots.
Broncos, Cardinals, Patriots.
Yep. That's,
Okay.
that's I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that.
I've noticed that the Chargers have fallen out of a lot of people's power rankings. That's interesting. Um,
I don't think they deserve that. They were never in my top five anyway.
I
I don't.
noticed that. I noticed that.
So I don't. I mean, it's not like it's. In my opinion, they're dropping from like a 7 or like a 6 to a 8 or something like that. I mean, it's not like they're not taking a huge dip in the rankings because of a loss to the Broncos.
Right. I just want to throw out there, where do you stand with Detroit? Because, just so everyone knows, they've won 6 games.
Yeah, and they're in first place in the
NFC North. So,
NFC North.
what do you
So,
think of them as a football organization? Do you
well,
think that they'll
this
make the playoffs?
the way they're playing now, yeah, but just a reminder, they should not have won the game last week
Oh
because
no, no.
The Falcons should not have given up 21 points and a half. But yeah, I think they're a good team. I mean,
Falcons deep.
when if Megatron would finally, get healthy or something, then I just feel like they're even better.
I believe he's coming back after their bye, which is next week.
That's the word that has been the word so
Yeah.
far. You
Uh,
never know. I feel like they're a good team. Playoff contention, yeah. or playoff ability, yeah. I feel like they'd be a wild card lost kind of team. I don't think they can be a Cardinals or something like that in the wild
Right.
card or anything like that. They have the ability to make the playoffs. I just don't think they have. When they get there, I don't think they're just going to do anything.
Okay.
It's sad but true, and I know a lot of Lions fans because I'm a Detroit Red Wings fan. I don't know if people knew that. So a lot of the people I know are also Lions fans. So I hear about the Lions on a daily basis, and Lions fans are very happy with the way their team has been playing, as they should be. I mean, nobody figured that they would be, top of the division, even with Megatron out.
Yeah, I'm
So
very impressed.
I, I'm I'm not shocked because last year they didn't have a great start like this, but they didn't play horrible at the beginning of the year last year either. They just had that horrendous tank at the end of the year.
Hmm.
So yeah, they're a good team. All
Okay.
that just to say that they're a good team.
Okay. I appreciate your input. My top five teams in the NFL are Denver at one. Even though I don't know much about the Cardinals, I have yet to see a full game from them. I'm just going off based what I hear and their record. I'll put Cardinals at two. Um, I'm stubborn. I'm going to put Dallas at three, and I refuse to let Seattle drop. I'm putting them at five, and I'll sneak Patriots in at four. There you go.
I've liked those rankings. I think I would think Cowboys would be at five, and then
Where do I have the
Seahawks
Cow?
four.
I already forgot. Where do I have Cowboys at?
You had them at three.
Three. Okay, that's fine. Denver, Arizona, Dallas, New England, then Seattle for me. And the bottom three, I'm actually going to put the Saints down there. No, I'm kidding. All right. No, the Falcons can go down there, actually. I'll put them there.
That's actually very reasonable.
Alongside the
Sadly,
Jaguars and Raiders.
sadly, that's very reasonable. So
NBA!
I don't think. Do we have enough time?
What do you mean?
We've been like over an hour, I think.
Uh,
Do we have enough time?
uh,
I mean, I would love to. I don't know about you. I would love to add NBA
it
teams.
doesn't matter how long it goes for.
True, true.
It
We're
records
not that
forever.
professional. We're
Yeah,
not that professional. We don't have a
exactly.
time limit. We don't have a time limit.
We did have a minute long technical difficulty, which I'm keeping in, so
True,
we're not that
true,
technical.
true. So you know what? Let's do it. Let's talk some NBA. And just so people know, we do follow the NBA a lot. Um, I mean, me a little bit more than Chad, but we do follow the NBA. I wouldn't say as much as NFL, but a decent amount as much as NFL. So we're not just a bunch of random radio people who happen to talk about it because it's a sport.
Yeah,
We actually know what we're talking about. So, you know what? You can start off since you wanted to do this so bad.
I did want to do
Tell us
this.
what happened. Tell us what happened last night. Did you watch the
Um,
first game?
well, hold on. I have a little bit of an anecdote. I
Oh,
was
okay.
I was watching some stuff on YouTube, and one of the ads was like, "Oh, by the way, NBA tip off tonight, son." So NBA tip off. Oh yeah, there's this NBA thing. So I saw that Houston was going to be playing against LA, and I saw the Spurs were going to be playing the Mavericks.
How about
So
this? Cause did you watch the LA Rockets game?
I watched the first quarter of it.
That's it.
Yeah, but I
'Cause
did watch the entire Mavericks Spurs game.
okay. Well, how about this? Since the Rockets and the LA game was just that bad, how about we kind of not talk about it and say that the Rockets are good and the Lakers suck?
Okay, fair enough.
Because that's what happens. Because I really wanted to talk about this Spurs Mavericks game.
Okay.
Because this
Uh,
was this was beautiful basketball by the Spurs. It
dude,
was just wonderful.
I love the mentality that they have as far as like having a carbon copy of the team that got you a championship last year
Yeah.
and doing the exact same thing. Like just watching it, it looks like it's so exhausting to guard with
Oh
passing the
yeah.
ball 47 times before you take a shot. Like,
They're one of the few teams that play team basketball. They're one of the few teams that don't have, that one guy that they revolve everything around. Because if you say Spurs to me, I think of Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Tim Duncan, Kawhi Leonard. I think of the whole team. I don't think of, if you say Cavs, I say LeBron.
right, right.
If you say Heat, I say D Wade. It's nothing like that at all. And
Yeah,
that's what I love about the Spurs.
but it's just weird. The Spurs, despite only winning by 1 point, for the majority of the game, were dominating Dallas as far as just always being up at least one possession.
I
But
think they
Dallas
had a
didn't look
double
bad at
digit
all.
point at one point. I do think they had a double digit point or
Yeah, they
lead
did. They
at
did.
one point, yes.
Dallas made like a 8-2 run towards the end, but Dallas didn't look bad, not at all.
No, I feel like if they are later in the season, about halfway through, I feel like the Mavs could have won this game. And I say that because, you're looking at all the new additions to the team. The team still has to get used to each other.
Right.
And I know people don't think, people think it's professional so that they should be used to each other already. There's a difference between preseason and regular season, and there's a huge difference between training camp and regular season. So, Chandler Parsons, who is one of my favorite players in the NBA, it's hard going from Rockets to Mavs because you have all these different players that you've had to work with because you've been with the Rockets for was 2 or 3 years, and then you go to the Mavs where it's all Dirk Nowitzki and Monte Ellis.
Who both
So
looked fantastic, by the way, last night.
Monte Ellis was going off, and Dirk was just doing what we all know Dirk does.
That clean fadeaway is just one of the most beautiful things in sports, man.
Yes, I do agree. Wonderfully.
Yeah, but now that we're talking about this, talking about the NBA and whatnot, I want to know. Just we didn't get a chance to do this because the podcast hadn't started yet until like week 4 of the NFL. But we now have the opportunity to talk about our favorites for the East and the West, as far
You
as
are
who do we
right.
think will win each conference.
We need to
So
make our bold, way too early predictions.
now I don't know anything about basketball, so I'm gonna Google what teams there are and look up what conferences they're in, so I can make a very educated pick.
Okay. Do you want me to go first?
Yes, please.
Um, to win the East, I will go with the obvious choice and pick the Cavs, just because it's an obvious pick. The East still sucks no matter what.
Yep.
So who else do you go with? I do believe the Knicks will make the playoffs this year. I do believe that the Hornets are in, no, crap. I should know this, and I'm mad. Can you tell me, are the Hornets in the East or the West?
They are in the West.
Okay, they moved. See, I couldn't remember if they moved because when they were at the Bobcats, they were in the
No,
East.
they're in the East. My bad.
They're in the East?
Yeah.
Okay. The Hornets will make it. How about Anthony Davis last night? Oh my God.
I didn't watch that garbage.
You didn't watch that garbage? I didn't
You
watch it either, but I saw.
didn't watch that garbage.
I didn't watch the game, but I saw Anthony Davis's stats, which
I
was
didn't
just
draft him.
amazing.
So who do you have them playing against in the finals? You said Cleveland Spurs.
I have. It's not calling my name, man.
I hear it. I hear it.
I have. Who do I have for finals?
Yeah.
Spurs, Cavs, and I do think the Spurs will win back to back for the first time.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
I'm gonna go. Chicago will win the East,
Wow.
assuming that Derrick Rose
Stays
plays
healthy.
the whole
Yeah.
season. Yeah. I'll take Chicago, and they'll go against a lot of people. For some reason, are saying stuff like Clippers, Warriors, um, Blazers. No, let's be real here. Well, let's just go Spurs and be smart. I'm gonna go Chicago versus San Antonio.
I feel like people have been doing kind of like what like they did with the Seahawks at the beginning of the year. They're going with, oh, nobody wins back-to-backs, rarely if ever, other
Yeah,
than
this is
Heat.
true. Yeah,
So they go by that stat line that the Spurs have never won, two straight. So they just say, oh, well, it's not going to happen. And that's just a bunch of garbage.
and it's a different sport where
And it's a
that.
complete, yeah. So, you know, do you have Spurs winning?
Uh,
Are you
yep,
not going to make that decision
yep. I have
quite yet?
Spurs winning.
Okay. So I think that'll actually do this podcast. I'm very happy we got this NBA in. Next week we will definitely have more to talk
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
We'll have a full week of play to talk about. We'll have all of obviously week 2 in the NBA. So do you want me to do the outro or
Yeah,
would you like to
do
do it?
it. If you're feeling ambitious, go ahead.
I knew I never should have asked that question. So, on the I don't know how to word this. You know what? I'm just gonna wing it. So.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, for joining this episode of the Harry Knuckles podcast. My name is Hunter. You were listening to Chad as well.
Yes, you are.
So make sure you follow all of us on our social media devices on Twitter. Mine is HFirestone11. Chad's is Mr_Chaddington. And you can also follow the podcast official Twitter account where me and Chad will make random appearances at the HK podcast. So thank you to everyone who listened. My name is Hunter. I was with Chad.
All right, guys. Bye.
And thank you for listening.
All right. Jay Cutler sucks.